If you're looking to buy your first home, you're going to have to write an offer on that home. Now, many people tell you that it's a competitive market and all of these things, and that's true, but you don't really know what that means for you or how to write an offer in a competitive market. Today, as a realtor, I'm going to teach you how to write the most competitive offer that you can write. So first, to understand really what an offer is and what you're writing, you want to understand the 5 key components of an offer. Number 1 is price. That's the one everyone knows. So say there's a $500,000 house. Would they take $450,000? Concessions. What that is seller paying directly the buyer. So instead of $500,000 and you ask for $480,000, you can say, okay, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'm going to give you $500,000, but I ask for $20,000 in a seller credit or concession for closing costs. Number 3 is timeline. How quickly can you close on the home? Number 4 is the amount of money down, that being your down payment and also the earnest money deposit. Lastly is contingencies. What is this sale contingent on? So first we're going to go into price, and it's kind of the basic idea. I already talked about it. So a way you could negotiate price is, say it's a $500,000 house. Would they be able to take $490,000? Or if you're in a competitive market, maybe offering instead of $500,000, $510,000 could make your offer more attractive. Now, next is concessions. Again, you can be as aggressive or non-aggressive with it. If you want to make your offer more attractive, you can ask for no concessions. But if you're buying your first home, odds are the upfront cost is something that's going to be the biggest hassle for you. So what you can do is, instead of saying, oh, can you take $490,000, you can say, I'll give you $500,000, but I want $10,000 in closing costs. That way you have less of an upfront cost, because if you did $490,000 and save that $10,000, you're not going to save the $10,000 immediately. It's over the life of a 30-year loan. So really you're going to save maybe $100 a month, or you can save $10K immediately. Now, past concessions is the timeline. The average time to close is 30 days. Now, you might be wondering, Ryan, how can I close sooner? Number 1 is preparation. That's why I always say in all of my videos, preparation is key. The more you prep, the lower that number can be. Also, if you're someone who's an all-cash buyer, you can get this really low. But odds are, if you're buying your first home, you're not going to pay all cash. So you want to make sure you do as much preparation as possible to have that timeline as low as possible. So instead of 30, so say someone has an offer for $500,000 right here, right? And yours is $480,000. But they're going to close in 45 days and you're going to close in 20. And the sellers really need to get out of that house. Maybe they need to get their kids in the school system, or they need to move across the country, or what have you. That 25-day difference could be more important to them than the $20,000. So it's another strong key factor in negotiation. 4th is money down. Now, obviously, you have your down payment. So say you have an FHA, most likely with a first-time buyer, you're going to have 3.5% down. Maybe it's higher, maybe it's lower, maybe you're conventional and 20%, maybe you're a VA and 0%, what have you. Realistically, the more money you have down, the more likely your seller is going to go with that. That's why all cash, technically 100% down, is a better offer, because it's, again, a lot of money down. The other thing to think about is the earnest money deposit. Normally, this can range anywhere from 1 to 3% of the purchase price of the home. Obviously, the more you write in there, the better it is. If you want to go higher than that 1 to 3%, it's going to basically just show the seriousness to your seller. That way, again, it's another way you can make your offer even more attractive. Now, the 5th and final part of a key negotiation is contingencies. So let's say you owned a home, and buying this home was contingent on the sale of the home that you currently have. So say you have this house, and to buy the next house, you need to make sure that this one gets sold. That is going to make your offer a lot weaker, because they know maybe your house won't sell. Maybe you're saying, okay, I can buy this house, but it's contingent on in 60 days my lease is up. So I'm going to buy your house and then rent it back for 60 days. Maybe a buyer doesn't, or a seller rather, wouldn't want to do that. So there's thousands of different contingencies. You want to make sure that you get as little as possible and give them as little as possible on the contingencies. Now, these are the 5 key factors, but one thing I want to note is when you write an offer, it's on what's called a residential purchase agreement. And on that agreement, there's over 50 key negotiation points. Now here's 5. This is just kind of a summary of all of them. There's smaller things within each. However, there's a lot of key factors in negotiation. So you want to make sure that who you're working with, you trust to negotiate on each and every single one of those 50 plus points of negotiation. So hopefully today you learned a little bit on how to make your offer a little bit stronger and get it accepted instead of getting rejected on all of your offers. If you enjoyed this week's video, I'd appreciate you leaving a like and a comment and let me know you did. If you really like this week's video, consider subscribing because I release videos once a week on Friday on the benefits of home ownership and how to buy a home. So again, if you enjoyed it, thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you till next week.